The Great Purge by Kimberly Lee and Hin Tam Pham.
Vladimir Lenin, the previous head of the Bolshevik Party, died in 1924. Joseph Stalin eventually succeeded Lenin in 1929. However, members of Lenin's Bolshevik Party questioned and threatened Stalin's authority and thus were relieved of their duties or executed during the Great Purge, an era of extreme violence and brutality.
Causes of the Great Purge included Stalin's paranoia that developed after being betrayed by his mentor Vladimir Lenin, who requested for Stalin to be released from his office, and his wife Nadezhda, who left by committing suicide. His paranoia made him lose his trust in people and arouse suspicion. Stalin was also motivated by his desires to unify the USSR, rid the USSR of factionalism, and keep his authority.
When Stalin came to power, the authority of the People's Commissariat of Internal Affairs, or NKVD, increased significantly. With this power, the NKVD terrorized the streets of Russia and implanted fear in citizens. New leaders were brought in to replace released or executed leaders. This resulted in political and military instability, leading to further questioning and doubts over communist ideology.
However, the ultimate act that led to the Great Purge was the assassination of Sergei Kirov, a well-known and greatly respected Soviet leader whose death caused immense mourning across Russia. Kirov's assassin turned out to be an anti-Soviet member of a secret counter-revolutionary group that sought to murder communist leaders like Kirov. Soon after Kirov's murder, Stalin initiated an investigation to seek out such counter-revolution terrorists and those involved in plotting against him.
The Purge included three major trials that acted as propaganda between 1936 to 1938, in which many leading figures, including Kamenev and Zinoviev, were executed. These public trials were known as show trials, which were held to show the people of the Soviet Union and international press that defendants were given a fair trial under the Soviet judicial system. In reality, many of the accused were forced to confess to crimes even if they were fabricated. In addition, secret trials were held to eliminate military leaders behind the scenes.
Even after the Great Purge, the NKVD, also known as Stalin's secret police force, continued to arrest suspected citizens of the USSR, who were also labeled under the title "enemies of the people." The campaign that originally targeted political leaders has now come to involve ordinary workers, peasants, and citizens. As the 1930s came to an end, the Great Purge went into decline, and Stalin had successfully gotten rid of and silenced his remaining critics and rivals, therefore establishing absolute rule over the Soviet Communist Party. It is said that Stalin reigned supreme over a country drenched in blood, and that there was no possible opposition to him within the Soviet Union. Tyrants like Stalin rise to power when people put their trust in those who strive to acquire authority. This is proven during the 1930s, where the world was struck by the Great Depression, in which people grew desperate for survival and sought alternative forms of government to end global suffering. Thus, it's important to remember that one must never trade one's loyalty for momentary relief.